Okay, guys, so this lovely old man here is Rudy. Um, he came to the barn, I think, a month ago. And he's actually a horse from my old barn. He's a solid black Appaloosa, which his owner, Bonnie, doesn't think that he's actually an Appaloosa. But there are features on his face and his body type that make me think that he's an Appaloosa mixed with some form of a warm blood. But he's pushing on 30. I think he's like 28 or 29. As you can see, he's got a lovely pink and blue freaking blanket on. It's about 34 degrees outside. And he's got a bit of a winter coat, so he doesn't really need the blanket on. I'm very tempted to take the blanket off him. But yeah, everyone thinks that, at first you look at him and he's like, oh, he's just a sweet old man. But Bonnie thinks that he's this crazy horse who every now and again she can't handle him when I never have a problem with him. He's a very sweet young man, or old man I should say. But he does have his moments where if he doesn't think that you're strong enough to work with him, he'll just kind of be like, I'm just going to walk on you now. So Bonnie thinks that that's him. He's hard to handle, and it's just that she's not strong enough herself because she's in her 60s to be able to control a horse of his size, which he's about 16 hands. He might be a little bit taller than that. His fur is so soft, it's ridiculous. So, Rudy, can I see your face, buddy? Can I see your little face? Huh? You want to let me see it? He's like, no, I'm eating. Oh, the buds. So he adds to our geriatric list. And he and Mallory both lived in this barn back when it was on the other side of town, because this barn moved several years ago. And he's not in his old stall, but he is in the barn that he first started working in. Mallory's in her stall that she first was in. But, so he used to do, there's his little face, you can see he's got a little star, it's sort of like an S shape. But he did hunter jumper classes. I don't know how long he did hunter jumper, but that's what his thing was. Now he's obviously too old for that. And Bonnie always thinks that he's lame and that, Rudy's he's not feeling good, whatnot. When really it's just old horse syndrome, as I call it. He's getting older and his joints hurt him when it's cold, and we got a little bit of a cold front, recently. It was supposed to snow on Wednesday, but it didn't, which is the usual here, because we don't ever get snow. I think we got snow like 5 years ago, and that was the last time we got any. But, so, we did get a little bit of a cold front, so he was feeling a little bit under the weather, but he looks like he's walking just fine right now, because he was just walking around his stall out in the back, because he's got an extra back run out there. You can see that gate is open right there. He can go out that way, and then there's a little stall-like thing that goes the other way. So he's got plenty of room to move around, and we did that on purpose so that he could move around. Because the best thing for horses that have arthritis or that have joint issues is for them to be able to stretch their legs and move around and warm up those areas that are sore. Because when they warm it up, it gets it so that it's not as sore. It's when they sit there in a box and they can't move that it makes it so that soreness doesn't go away. It's sort of like if you have an injury and you sit around all day, it feels worse than if you were to move. I tore my knee out a couple years ago playing football, and while it hurt to move, it did feel better when I was moving than when I would just sit there. So, and horses are the exact same way. He also has an issue, and you can't really see it, again, because the stupid blanket's in the way. But he has an issue where his hocks are dropping down, which, again, is kind of old man syndrome. But, so, that's a thing that we have to work with him. so he can't really hold riders that are very heavy, which is fine because Bonnie's like maybe 90 pounds soaking wet in a mud puddle. But so he also rides in a hackamore. His hackamore, I don't like the nose piece on because it's almost like two curb chains that are like stacked on top of each other. Like this, not like this. So I personally don't like that. It's a bit of a severe hackamore. And it has a curb chain on the bottom too, so it's just chain on chain. So I'm not really a big fan of that. And I think he has front shoes, but not back shoes. Also, his stall's a mess because I haven't cleaned it yet. Oh, Blondie, knock it off. But yeah, guys, so this is Rudy. He's a very sweet young man, or old man. I keep calling him a young man. He's not young at all. At least by horse standards. By human standards, he'd be very young. But yeah, he's very sweet. I love him. And I think that he's just fine on his own. I've never personally ridden him because I've always been just kind of too much weight for him because he's always been kind of achy. But I just want to let you guys meet him since I've done a... What is Mallory doing? Mallory's doing something weird. She distracted me. But I just wanted to do a video about him since I did one on everyone else. And we haven't had any other newbies around the barn other than our cowboys that came by because we did have Casey and Lou Fields. And I think Shad Fields, I think is his name. I don't know, Casey Fields' his brother. They were down. They had, I think, 5 horses here. And then there were 2 little baby... Or not little baby horses, they were little ponies. But yeah, we didn't have any new permanent residents other than Rudy here. And we're going to there, guys. And I'm probably going to come in here and clean his stall because it's a mess. Because he's a dirty boy. Rudy, I having fun playing with your hay. And we're going to end it there.